Hey, so what's up, guys? I had a lot of people asking me about the spicy Sudowoodo pick that I was running in Timeless, and just want to talk a little bit about how IVs are going to make a really big difference in whether or not you want to run Sudowoodo. If you've got the proper IVs to make it work, you can have a lot of success. If you have not as highly ranked Sudowoodo, you're probably going to want to try to find something else. So take a look here. This is with on pvpoke.com, a great resource for all of us battlers. If you're going to look, we're at both default IVs here. It's important to get to learn how to know how to play around with these IVs, and ultimately you want to be inputting the IVs of your Pokemon. A lot of times I'll run them against the top-rated Pokemon, or the rank 1 as we would call it. But here we're going to go default, because this is what's usually going to populate in the rankings, and this is what's going to populate if you're going to run your Pokemon versus the meta. So see here in the default IVs that Dragonair is going to win. And how does he win? He wins very handily. 50 HP left and 693 battle rating, which is very high. If you scroll down, you're going to see he's going to win in all even shielding scenarios. Even if Pseudo shields twice and Dragonair only shields once, it's going to barely squeak out a win with a 592. The Sudowoodo is, that is. So 592 is not a great battle rating. That means you probably only have a little bit of HP left, even though you do get the win. So using an extra shield to get there is definitely not an option. In the zero shield scenario, it's pretty close. That Rock Slide's still going to do a ton of damage. But Aqua Tail plus the Dragon Breath are just too much. They're going to overcome you. So now if we scroll back up, and we're going to open up the Advanced Stats IVs windows here again. We're going to maximize the stats for Sudowoodo. Mine's not actually max stat. I think mine's like rank 6 or rank 7, but it works just as well. Easier to go through just to hit maximize than it is to type in all the exact stats. So we're going to come back down here. We're going to run this sim again. You see that this time Sudowoodo is going to get the victory in the zero shields. He's able to have a bit more bulk, able to take that Aqua Tail and those Dragon Breaths and get the win with 32 energy, which is a decent win. And if we scroll down here, we're going to see the one shield. You do win as well with a 503. This is a 1 HP scenario, so I did go back in and run my exact IVs, and it was the same thing. I was still able to get the win with 1 HP. Now you might be saying, Catch, you're still running default against the Dragonair. I know a lot of the top battlers are not running a default Dragonair, so scroll back up here and also adjust the IVs here on Dragonair and make him rank 1 as well. You see something interesting is going to happen here. We're going to go ahead and run this sim here, and actually went up from 503 to 507. So most likely from the Dragonair having a lower attack stat, even though he has more bulk, he's going to get more Dragon Breaths in, but they're not going to do as much damage. So let's take a look at it here. You can click on each little individual instance here. You're seeing it's 3 damage right now with the rank 1 Dragonair. Let's go ahead and change it back up to the default Dragonair. Well, maybe not. He might be a higher level though. He went down to 0 attack instead of top attack. I'm still doing 3 damage, so I'd have to do a little bit more investigation to find out why exactly the battle rating went up against the top-rated Dragonair. It's possibly that you're going to have to get another counter in, and that's giving you a little bit more energy left over. Let's take a look at it. So I end up with 2 HP against the top-rated and only 1 HP against the default. So not sure exactly what's going on there. I'd have to investigate a little bit more, but still very important to note that you are going to get the wins in the 0 shield and the 1 shield, whether or not you're facing against the top-rated Dragonair or whether you're facing against the default Dragonair. And if you scroll down a little bit farther on PvPoke, you're going to see that bulk points and break points are listed. So you can see here, counter damage is going to be coming in at 6. Dragon Breath can either be 3 or be 4. You want to make sure you have that 128.89 as a minimum defense to make sure you're only taking 3 Dragon Breath damage. If you scroll up here, 131.8 is the max stat product, your defense. If you go back to default, 129.1. So looks like either way you were still only taking 3 Dragon Breath damage. The main determining factor then looks like it's going to be that bulk. So how much HP are you going to have? So you can see default Sudowoodo here having 125 HP. And if you go back up here to maximize it, 127. So something as small as a couple HP difference can make a huge difference. As we saw, there was winning the battle with only 1 or 2 HP left over. So that could have made all the difference there, being able to take that last Dragon Breath to be able to get off the rock slide, or to be fainted down with full energy and almost being able to get to another rock slide. So another thing I wanted my Sudowoodo to be able to do was to be able to take care of dragons. So let's go ahead and check out the Kingdra matchup here as well once I learn how to type. So against Kingdra, we'll go again here with the, now we know we want our maximized Sudowoodo. Let's go ahead here against the default Kingdra. It's always a good baseline to start out with. You're going to see Sudowoodo wins that even if the Kingdra gets the debuff. You can see that the, going to sandbox mode here, you can see the little blue arrows pointing down means the debuff was applied. So you can go ahead in here and take that away. And if he doesn't get the debuff, you see, oh, sometimes it doesn't want to let you take it off. So still going to get the win though, even with the debuff taken off. So take it back out of sandbox mode here. Let's go ahead and maximize Kingdra as well and see if our little Woody boy can still get the W even against the max stat product Kingdra. So you can see here again, this time the debuff was cleared, and you are going to get the solid win in the one shield against that maximum stat product Kingdra. And we can come back into sandbox mode here and this time apply the debuff. And you're going to see that even if the Kingdra gets the debuff, you're still going to be able to get the W. It would appear, but it's actually going to be able to get to a second charge move here before you're going to be able to take him out. So if he does get the debuff, you might want to consider switching out, or you can stay in. 512 is not a huge win. You can see 3 HP and 5 energy on the Kingdra. So up to you. If the debuff happens, you may switch out, you may stay in. It's kind of a personal preference of playstyle at that point. And if sandbox mode is engaged, you're not going to be able to see the other shielding scenarios. So let's go ahead and take a look down. You're even going to win the 2 shields, it looks like, against Kingdra with the max stat product versus max stat product. So again, you got to watch out for those debuffs, but it looks like if the debuff comes later, you're still able to pull out the win. I can tell you right now, if the debuff was in that first column, that you're not going to be able to win, or if there was a double debuff, you're also not going to look at a win. Another thing I wanted Sudowoodo to be able to do was to be able to take out Lapras, so let's go ahead and take a look at that matchup as well. Again, this is our max stat product Sudowoodo versus the default Lapras. More likely that Lapras is going to be at default stats. It's a legacy Eye Shard Lapras, and at Lapras isn't like, there's no Lapras nest. You're not finding a ton of Lapras spawning in the wild, so much less of a chance that somebody's going to have a perfect stat product. You can see here in the one shield, Sudowoodo is going to get the win with 12 HP. If Lapras burns both shields, he is able to pull it out. Even the default Lapras, he gets to that surf so quick that you're not going to be able to handle him there. So if Lapras shields twice and Sudo only shields once, you're going to see that doesn't need to get to that last surf, and that he's going to have 53 HP and 20 energy. 646 battle rating. You know what? I'd honestly take that scenario. I'm only shielding once. I'm not going to shield twice to go to the second. To lose by 453, I'd rather lose with a 353 battle rating and have a shield left over than to 453 and everybody's shields being gone. So I'm going to come back up here. See the guys are GGing in the chat. We're going to go ahead and see both of them being max stack product, because you never know. There's lots of people that have lots of friends that are willing to trade them, and you know, it's definitely possible somebody could have a max stat product Lapras, although not very probable. Take a look at that scenario, and same thing. Lapras is going to win the 2v1, but looks like just barely. And Sudowoodo, you still got that. Interesting that the two versus one shield scenario, Sudowoodo's battle rating went up again there. So a little bit more further investigation going to be involved to find out exactly what's going on. We can go ahead and scroll back down here. We can see that quite possibly that the Eye Shard is doing less damage with the max stat product Lapras than it was with the default Lapras. Counter damage, looks like we're probably not getting that anyway. We're still only doing 9 damage from the counter. You'd have to have a really heavily attack weighted Sudowoodo to get up to that 124 to do 10 damage. So interesting, a lot of stuff you can play around with on PvPoke. It's a great resource. If you're trying to be a top-rated battler, I would definitely recommend becoming familiar with this website. And of course, getting those scrims in. As you can see, I'm in active chat there. There's quite a few active chats that I'm in through Facebook Messenger and through Discord. So try to reach out and build your community and keep battling. You know, nothing can. Sims are great, but nothing quite compares to getting there and practice. And it's great when your opponent's been running Sims and like you're in Sudowoodo versus Dragonair matchup, and he's thinking, "Oh, I've got this one in the bag. My Dragonair's got a 693 battle rating against Sudowoodo." And then you come in there and you take them out with 1 HP left. And then they go back and run the Sims with the max stat product and realize, oh, that Sudowoodo is kind of a bad boy. So thanks for tuning in. I hope that was informative. I hope you guys learned something today. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. Please hit that like if you learned something.